Let's see, am I on? Got my old phone back. Okay, this is number 3. I just left the Calder Times. It's, thankfully, there is the church, by the way. I could see the beautiful Oh, no, that might not be it. That might be one of the others. Corpus Christi Cathedral is up there. Now, this is beautiful. We're on the road that was destroyed, okay? The same road that the Calder Times has said, if any children and baby strollers are killed here, that their blood is at the feet of Mayor Joe McComb. Okay. Now, this used to be, see how pretty this road is? I used to come in all the way from the airport of Corpus Christi, or oftentimes coming back from my job at the Kingsville Fire Department, and I'd come all the way back on a longer road, one called Highway 37, and make a complete stretch all the way down to this beautiful road here, which is Shoreline Boulevard and Ocean Drive down there, I believe. And then you would drive it all the way right through here. Now this is blocked permanently. This stretch that used to be a beautiful thoroughfare is permanently blocked, according to the Calder Times and connections they have for life, because they rerouted it back that way, and I was just on it. And the rerouting of the road and all of the roads that are in downtown Corpus Christi are all like one way here, very, very bad. Okay? Though it's pretty here. Now, I used to ride, and I've done some videos here, and this road, you see all those construction things? Those are not temporary. Those little barriers that this road has now been opened because the community wanted it opened. Hispanics, blacks, and whites, the majority of the community wants this road opened. Okay? But for political reasons, and then the Calder Times is trying to prevent a white official who was elected mayor to fulfill the will of the populace of this city. They're trying to go after him to prevent him. The same paper that defended the criminal activity of judges who were Hispanic. The same paper that might be even aware of ongoing criminal activity with particular old families, Hispanic families. That's a well-known thing. And it seems as if they do indeed have connections with that. Now, what the mayor did was finally took down some barriers. There are many others that are still up here. But he took down some so you could ride through this road. But they've had this blocked off. And all the cars now have to go like through side streets. They destroyed it. They destroyed it. And anybody with common sense would tell you that. And the history of car wrecks I had been through, I'll just tell you, it's more dangerous now. And before you write pieces, why don't you get information yourselves? Like you yourselves gave advice, Calder Times, to the councilman. If you're not knowledgeable about a thing, don't make decisions. You said that, particularly about the case with Mayor Margie Rose and the water treatment facilities. But yet you yourselves are so ignorant. You yourselves are so ignorant. Now, that's the one that is the new turnaround. It's permanently supposed to be like that. And this road is permanently supposed to be shut. This beautiful, most of these vehicles would go straight down, and it's a beautiful ride. You could go to North Beach from here, right over the Harbor Bridge. You could go also connect to a highway called 37. But this is what they permanently shut. And as far as I know, what the mayor asked when they shut this road permanently, he asked, who put these up? Some gates and stuff. He said, who did that? See all these beautiful cars coming down. So why can't we go down this beautiful road? And the mayor found out that some rogue employee maybe connected with the Hispanic illegal community. Not all Hispanics, obviously, but maybe those that have kind of been around, connections. Whoever did it, the mayor simply said, one person decided to put ugly barriers up permanently. Well, surely any community, any corporation wanting to come to this part of the country would want to have assurances. For instance, if their business was right off of the main thoroughfare, they would want to know that a progressive community, not living in 1968 Oldsmobiles, that's the mentality of the Kohler Times. See, and they gave a critique of Mr. McComb, and the critique was racist. They didn't say he was a 1968 Mexican lowrider, you see. They said Joe McComb is living in the past, in the days where 1968 Oldsmobiles. But today we're progressive. So nobody would truly want to travel such a beautiful road. This is blocked. This is closed. You see what this is now closed permanently. And that's it. And everybody in this city, 97%, would say, oh, what a disaster. And then they elect a new mayor, which one of the things they would like was for this road to be opened again. I mean, it's gratefully I could walk across the street, but I'd prefer to be open. Most cities, if they close a road down like this, beautiful, beautiful main thoroughfare, most of them do it because maybe you're having a particular festival, carnival, and we have one here yearly called Bayfest. But no, this is permanent. They made like a side street. And then for the paper, what they said was, it'll be on the blood of children run over, possibly, when strollers are walking across here. That blood of those kids are going to be at the foot of Mr. McComb. And they ran 3 opinion pieces. And all of them, and they had particular biases, those people, and said, any deaths that are now going to occur. Let me tell you, the way you rerouted that, you've seen all those cars, it's worse. It's just worse. But most of all, the way the Kohler Times, I've seen them cover up for criminal activity by Mexican people that were so-called law enforcement, that were connected here. Cover up. You are no different when you do that shit than any racist group. And you were so happy when there was a bust in the Aryan Brotherhood, and you spoke so openly of it. You rejoiced. And I've never seen one of the so-called Mexican mafias or any of those. It shows me. I advocate for people to leave all those lifestyles, regardless of what one they're in, what group they're in. And it showed me how you're so biased here. How do you expect a progressive person that wants to say, we're going to open up the Port of Corpus Christi is right over there, and you want businesses and international corporations to come to a city where one employee can permanently shut down this road by ugly gates, and that the populace of the community would vote, let's get a mayor in, whether he's Hispanic, whether he's white, whether he's black, let's get a mayor in that will represent all the people, which the people voted McComb in. And then the paper goes out. It shows me that you have such a bias, and I see a tinge of racism in what you do. I see it. The courthouse is right up that way. We've had so many questionable things go on. So this is 3 today. I have made a public open form request for the Kohler Times to reveal any connections that they have, whether it's connections with corruption within this community, whether they're aware that particular crimes in the last few months were reported, crimes that would, high crimes, and that those crimes were quashed because there was evidence against people of influence in this community involving young children, crimes that the people are being sent up. And whether you even know that, whether you would cover up for that like you did for Mr. Benyalis and the vehicular crimes that he committed, you have no righteousness within you unless you decide to publicly, I speak for the voice of the Christian community in Corpus Christi right now. The same community that you have also investigated for 20-something years, all the way back to the days of Brother Roloff's. And I say, how do you think that you stand in a position, Calder Times, Nick Jimenez, Tom Whitehurst, all of you, well, you yourselves refuse to come public in your own financial dealings? Do you support Mr. Jimenez, the La Raza organization? Do you support groups that call for the Hispanic community to rise up and to bring down any Anglo that has a position of empowerment? There are some who advocate that white people should not be in positions of authority, and that it is a cultural war to purposefully depose the white people in authority so Hispanics can take those positions. Now, if you have white groups, which you do, that advocate for that, all of us in this country refer to those white groups that advocate for the rise of the white man. You refer to them as white nationalists. Even if a white college student simply said one day, I'm proud of my heritage, whether it's European, Anglo-Saxon, whatever, you would immediately say that kid is a racist. But you have leadership, old Hispanic men in this community that still advocate for the rise of their own race at the demise of an Anglo race. You are living in the 1968 Oldsmobile days. You see? That's your mindset when you claim to advocate for the justice of all people, and yet late-term abortions, which anybody that would ever look at would say, oh, this is something that should be unacceptable, but yet you advocate for that. So it's number 3. The Calder Times has not responded yet. So let the world know. The Calder Times, Nick Jimenez, Tom Whitehurst Jr., all the names that I've already written on the post, refuses to come public with their financial statements, their income, the same request they have made of Christian churches within this community, going all the way back to the days of Brother Roloff. They made that request of Church Unlimited, the church I attend. They consistently are out in this community saying we're here for openness and we want to know your financial statements. Who you give money to, who you support, and how much you're making, because you claim to hold a position of justice in this community. And as of now, you refuse to release that information.